Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? And in the final installment of our European Cup episodes in this series, certainly until September at least, this is the Champions League final, and we're going to talk about that match. I'm going to look at the final league position from our little game that we were playing together. I really hope you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you click that like button and drop me a comment. So let's look at my predictions first on the official Champions League predictor on their website. So I said, I was quite optimistic, 3-1. I did think that Man City would score earlier on in the match, and Inter's sort of entire game plan would be null and void. It did take them quite a while to actually score. We'll take a look at the actual match in a second. And it was 1-0 overall, so I said that Man City would be the first team to score. I did feel that if Inter were the first team to score, they could probably win it, but I did say there was a 1 in 10 chance. And I said Kevin De Bruyne to score that goal. And he didn't, because he went off injured, didn't he? So yeah, I couldn't have predicted it was going to be Rodri though. That was a bit of an odd one. So I obviously played my booster, so I got 8 points. And let's see how other people predicted. So Nico, of course, got it right. 1-0, well done to you. Thierry 2-1. Oh, an Inter win there. 4-1. Yeah, I said 3-1, didn't I? 2-0, 3-2. Crikey, that would have been an amazing match. 2-0, 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 1-all. Okay, so let's take a look at the final league. I'm going to spoil it. Nico's won. And I came 13th. Oh my god, that's terrible. The top 3 were Nico, Thierry and Barussi. Well done. Thank you so much for playing this year. I'll try and make sure we do it from the first match of the group stage for the next season. Honourable mentions to those in the top 10. Duncan Norbert, Pablito, Harvey, Striker, Lino and Max. And yeah, I didn't even finish in the top 10 in my own league. 269 points compared to Nico's 479. That's amazing. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual match. I didn't watch it live. I had plans, so I went out and I sort of watched the last 15 minutes in a bar. But I spoke to my brother later on in the evening and he said it was a bit boring. So I watched the highlights, and yeah, there was that one chance where Nathan Ake left the ball go, thinking the goalkeeper was going to pick it up, and he didn't. Which Martinez shot at the keeper, trying to chip it over him. Other than that, I don't think Inter had that many chances until the last 5 minutes when they really went for it. Di Marco hit the crossbar, if I remember correctly, and then with the follow-up he headed it into Lukaku's legs. So typical of Lukaku. It's just like his World Cup, just, nothing went right for him. So let's look at the star ratings for these. Rodri obviously was man of the match. Edison got booked, I think, for time wasting. Haaland, De Bruyne had to go off really early on. Grealish didn't look to have a good game. Silva did. I saw him do quite a few things. People waxing lyrical about Stones. And then on this team, Di Marco did brilliantly, as he usually does. Onana did pretty well as well. But a sort of underwhelming performance. Shame Martinez didn't get a chance to shine. He's such a good player. And then coming off the bench, Lukaku, Bellanova, Goossens and Phil Foden had to come on quite early because of the injury, and Kyle Walker. Kind of surprised Kyle Walker didn't start, actually. Okay, so what does that mean for this season? Well, all in all, I think probably the best team won the championship, won the cup, and it's been a really, really unbelievable year for Inter. Getting to the final, I don't think anyone would have predicted that at the beginning of the season. Well, maybe a couple of people would. Beating AC Milan on the way, obviously a bit of a highlight. Do I think they'll be there next season? I would not predict it at this point. I think it's unlikely. Do I think the Man City will be back there next season? Yeah, probably. I think they're going to lose Gundogan potentially and Silva from this team, but they've got so much buying power they can get some big players in to replace them. So yeah, I think that this is going to be the start of Man City sort of being in and out of the Champions League Final Four for a couple of years, as long as Guardiola's there and they've got the money with the owners. I think that they're going to be around for some time to come. Who do I think at this point will be there next season? Well, I think Barcelona will put in a good run again in the future. I thought they had a really difficult group this year. I suspect Bayern Munich will probably be up there. PSG are going to have a bit of a transitional season because they're losing Messi. Saudi Arabian teams are trying to get Neymar to leave as well. They've lost Sergio Ramos. They're sort of rebuilding, but with a younger team. So I wouldn't be shocked if they weren't involved next season while they transition. And I think, who else could be involved? Just trying to think about Spanish teams. Real Madrid are going to have a little bit of a transitional season as well. Depends on who they replace Benzema with, really. But yeah, I think that all in all, the usual suspects will be there. So it'll be Man City, Bayern Munich, and I'm really interested to see how Arsenal and Newcastle are going to do. Man United, could reach a quarter-final, I guess, but I really don't know about Newcastle and Arsenal. I've got a feeling they're either going to go quite far or be knocked out in the group stage, that sort of thing. They're either going to, because they've been, both of them now have not been in the Champions League for so long, it's going to be quite interesting to see how they both cope. And we're going to have Real Sociedad in the Champions League. I think they could shock a couple of people, to be honest. Atletico Madrid are always a good team. They never really seem to get to the latter stages. Well, I suppose they did get to a final once, but... And then in Germany, Borussia Dortmund, so maybe they could get even further than they did this year, although again, they're losing a couple of their big players, which is their perennial problem. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if in a year in which I think Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid are going to have a little bit of a rebuilding going on, I wonder if anyone can step up to the plate. Maybe Napoli. Who knows? So, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and drop me a comment on whether you felt it was an entertaining final. I hear through my brother it wasn't that much, but maybe, that's one person's opinion. I'd like to have yours. And do you think that Man City could retain it next year? And if not, who do you think at this early stage is your favourite to get into the final at least, and possibly to win it? Let me know. Drop that comment, drop a like, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys really, really soon. Okay, take care everyone.